Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Todd Rodden. I'm a certified executive and business coach. I own Aspire Action Coach based here in Southwest Ohio. I think you're going to love us this episode today. Really, somebody who are on your team are really trailblazers, building out kind of the intersection of technology, AI, healthcare, and wellness together. So thrilled to have Quin Kline, who's the CEO and one of the co-founders of the Carehub. They help take some of the noise out of wellness in our society here today. So if you're new to the series, we're thrilled to have you join us. We encourage you to hit subscribe so you can receive future messages. Otherwise, sit down, grab your notepad. I think you'll love this message here with Quin Kline of Carehub. So Quin, welcome to the
Thank
spotlight.
you.
Thrilled to have you. Take us out of your mind. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about Carehub and why healthcare and wellness for you.
Yeah, well, I started my professional journey of all places in Washington, D.C., and really fell in love with the complexities and the difficulties in the healthcare system. So I spent about 8 years in and around the Beltway there, did the tour of DC, White House, Senate House, and really experienced through the eyes of the constituent kind of all of these different support services and the underpinnings of the healthcare system and how it can affect everyone's daily life. I fell in love with a boy there too. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. And so after, like I said, about 7, 8 years there, we came back to the Buckeye State. And during the course of my tenure in the corporate space, worked primarily in the health services and health plan sectors. Um, a little over a year ago, I reached out to a former colleague of mine and said, gosh, this digital health space is so confusing, but has so many opportunities. Do you think we could bring the same rigor and intention to the digital health ecosystem that we brought into building networks for health insurance companies? And he said, rock on. Absolutely. Hell yeah. So we created the Carehub. We are an AI-powered digital health platform that curates um, portfolios of and then unifies the data around wearables, wellness apps, app-enabled medical devices, and app-enabled programs and services. So we really take all of that consternation, frustration, guesswork out of finding the right digital health tools for you and your lifestyle.
Hey, thank you for that background. Great mix, kind of government work and working for the health networks, health plans, and now launching off onto your own. If you maybe go a little deeper and share, like, who would be like an ideal client, like how they might utilize some of your services and capabilities.
Yeah, so right now, our most enthusiastic partners are large employers using this as a wellness benefit aside their benefit suite for employees. We have universities that use it as a wellness benefit for students, faculty, and staff. National gym brands, right, that use it as a complement to the membership that they provide in physical real estate, right, through going to a gym. This is kind of that benefit that totes around with their members that allows them to enhance that wellness journey that they've started inside their four walls.
So building upon that, you mentioned, hey, there's a lot of noise, right, in the space. So with your approach, what do you think separates you from what else might be out there or takes away some of the noise?
Yeah, so when we really started to dig into how we create a rubric to decide whether or not a digital health tool is appropriate, or quite frankly, good enough to be on the Carehub platform, we really looked into a lot of different connectivity points, clinical efficacy, lifestyle implementation ability, cost, whether or not the company or developer has been in business for a certain number of years to make sure that you don't like really love this product and then, in 2 months it's gone. Customer service, user experience, kind of all of those different things that you really can't search for on the App Store, right? So when we really started mining for how to create this community, we started at the App Store, and their job is not to give you suggestions. Their job is to give you a list. And the tools at the top of that list are predominantly those companies that pay the most money for advertising, right? The tools that you see on Instagram or Facebook are the companies that have the most marketing dollars, right, in their budgets. So we really wanted to make sure that we were creating a really safe place for people to look into digital wellness that you could trust, right? That's our end goal. We want to be the most trusted source of digital health tools on the planet. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. Um, we, as we really started to review, refine, and test the resources on the platform, we found that 70% of the tools that we test, we don't believe are fit for CareHub users. And so when you think about that and you think about what comes across our feed every day in terms of companies like Calm or Skinny RX or kind of these other platforms that you're like, oh gosh, that person who looks really happy is using it. Maybe I should too. You're really not sure of the efficacy of that product. And so we strip away all of that noise and present our users with only the best. Our chief medical officer and her team continue to test, break, fix, and test again, all of the resources that we provide our users.
So kind of building upon that, what have been your keys to growth? You know, kind of key marketing strategies. I know we talked a little bit about this offline before record. If you got
Yeah.
some interesting stories to share.
Yeah, so marketing for us has been homegrown. I mean, we're a Midwestern company, so I think that speaks to our ethos. We work with a lot of nonprofits that we really wanted to get our platform into the hands of. And because they've been overwhelmingly excited with the product and really have seen so many uses and we've learned so much from them, they've been eager to introduce us to other folks in their industry. um, we combined, the four business partners have about 70 years in consumer products, health services, and healthcare. So we opened up our Rolodex and talked to those folks that we worked alongside in corporate America and said, "Hey, I know this is a pain point for you. I think we've solved it." And then LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been a really great way for us to connect with like-minded people, and find new and innovative partnerships for us, as we grow and try to improve our little slice of the world.
I love it. I love leveraging that Rolodex. To use an old term
Yeah,
there, but
yeah.
really
I'm
those
I'm secretly
relationships.
942 years old, so
Oh, no, I
yeah.
know what you mean. So, but continue to build those relationships. A lot of folks sometimes miss that. They won't reach back into folks
Yeah.
they've worked with in the past. It's all about moving forward, kind of stuff. So, Speaking of reaching back or looking back, I'm curious, running a business itself usually always comes with its own set of challenges, but a startup has a whole other bundle of fun there as well. So I'm curious, maybe you could share a past challenge you and your partners have come across, and how did you overcome it? What did you learn?
Yeah, so money is hard to hard to come by as a startup, and we laughed about a little bit of this earlier. Sometimes on television or the movies, you see someone fall off a sofa and wake up and be like, "Oh my gosh, I have, this inspiration for the world's greatest cupcake, and I shall sell it to everyone and everyone will buy it." And then the next scene is them on their yacht, right? Like it doesn't work that way. Maybe it does for some people, not for us. So something that really helped us feel really integrated into the work and overcome some of those challenges was we found partners that were willing to take a chance on us, right? Our development and marketing partners were willing to defer payment until we got our first implementation fees and then started getting our first, monthly income. So we were really, really grateful that we were able to sell the concept to, again, like-minded partners who we're excited about seeing this work be launched into the world. Um, we all also pitched in money and, talked to friends and family for a bit. And we really focused on getting customers, right? I think there is a lot of flash and sex to the investors and VC and private equity. And what we found was as we found partners, right, it took a lot longer than us going down to the VCs in Southwest Ohio or to DC or in Florida where we knew some folks. But we found that we have people that really care about our business and our growth trajectory, and the work itself. And we got a couple of our first customers through those folks.
So I'm curious, building on that, was that you were able to tap back into that network of people you had, or how did you influence these folks to take that chance on you, right?
Yeah, we have been gifted with a couple of people that could sell ketchup popsicles to women wearing white gloves. And so we talked to a bunch of people. We got a bunch of no's, right? We got a
Oh, sure.
bunch of like, "Are you okay?" Um, and yeah, I think it's really important to your point about who we've worked with in our past. You never know where they're going to be when you have a business idea or a passion project. And all four of us, I think, always took care of the people that worked for us or the people we worked with. And then being able to reach back out to them and saying, "Hey, I need a favor," or "Hey, I need some help." And we're really grateful that several of them were willing to say yes.
Yes, that's good. So, not that money never stops being a challenge. Sometimes I was curious, as you
Right.
look forward, we are here kind of a new part, a new year here.
Yeah.
What's the challenge you see on the horizon that you guys are trying to figure out and solve?
Yeah. So I think employees, right? I think growth in that regard. So right now, and we touched on this a little bit, right now we have our four core partners, and then everything else that supports the Care Hub is outsourced. Marketing, legal, finance, development, sales, right? Everything is contractor based. So I think as we look, and I think this is a pivotal question for so many small businesses out there, right? The cost of outsourcing all of that work compared to the cost of bringing it in-house? And how do you continue to treat new employees with the same respect and connection as, the four partners who started it? So I think that's kind of our struggle. How do we know, right, when it's time to bring someone in as opposed to continue to hire more vendors as part of our Care Hub family? Like, how does that, you know, how's that go?
Especially since you've got four very passionate partners,
Yeah,
right? Who all probably have some this skin in the game, by obviously.
right.
So, as you bring new folks in, how can they match that, or
And we all
continue to
have
support
very,
that? Right?
exactly, we all have very different credentials. We all have very different strengths. So, how do you build that team? And what's the right fifth person, right?
So, kind of building upon that, you talked about, hey, eventually, starting to hire more. But what's your long-term vision, your dream for this business? If it's 5, 10 years down the road, what do you see? What do you dream about there?
Yeah, we in the next 3 to 5 years would love to be able to say that we support people in every state in the country. And because that's a goal of ours, we've invested very heavily in our three-layer AI programming. We've found through lots of time, energy, and the numbers on the invoices that it's a lot more expensive to curate and present a really responsible, intentional AI infrastructure. So, when we first started the Care Hub, we wanted to make sure that regardless of the language you speak, regardless of your ability or disability, your intellectual comprehension level, your socioeconomic status, that you could come to the Care Hub and search the Care Hub and find tools that could make you feel a little bit better today than you did yesterday, right? And so with that, we started our AI development journey with the pivotal question of if I come to the Care Hub and I type in to our AI assistant, Kate, she's wonderful. Um, I am sad, right? I will get emergency contact numbers. I will get apps, devices, programs, services, wearables that could support what you may or may not be experiencing that's making you feel sad. It might be depression. It might be sleep, right? It might be nutrition. It might be that you have crushing anxiety over your financial wellness, right? It might be social wellness. It might be that you need help parenting or caring for elderly parents. Um, so we wanted to make sure that regardless of your ability to name the thing, right, that the Care Hub could provide you with resources to help you feel better about the thing.
I love that. I appreciate that, kind of those specific examples of kind of care needs and options that it present. So as you look back now, what have been your keys to success so far? Sounds like you've come a long ways in a year already. And so, if advice you'd give to others who long for that yacht on the Virgin Islands as well, but maybe
Yeah.
they're still
Yeah, when I'm
early
on
in
the
the game.
yacht, maybe I'll have better advice. I think that the most important thing is to fail fantastically a couple of times and have the grit to get back up. We have learned at the Care Hub so much more about the customers that we started implementing for that they were like, absolutely not. This is not at all what I thought we were building together. And we were able to pivot, right? We're a small company, we're a startup, we're super nimble, but we failed fantastically a couple of times and we celebrate those failures. Like we have breakfasts and, cocktail hours when we fail, right? It's it is the most vulnerable, but the most important experiences that you have that you can learn from.
Would you mind maybe sharing an example of one of those fantastic failures and how it really got you to make a significant change or a pivot? I mean, I know you can't get into like client details and that, but just kind of at a high level so people can
Uh,
see that because that's people say that a lot around, hey, celebrate your failures, but how do you really live that out, right?
Yeah. So, we we thought we were like super brilliant. And we got on Facebook when we first started needing users, right before we started populating the Care Hub to test a lot of these things. So we have our clinical innovations team headed up by our chief medical officer, Dr. Sharp. And then she has a network of physicians and care professionals that go out and, pardon me, research kind of all of these tools and bring them back. I mean, we have everything from bedwetting to anxiety, from, financial wellness, to wound care, right? Kind of all over the universe. And so we went on Facebook and we talked to all of our mom friends because Dr. Sharp and I are both moms. And we're like, okay, we need all these moms to, test um, all of these, tools, all these apps and wearables and programs and whatnot. So we get through, and so we build this infrastructure, and we go to work with one of our first customers, who's still a customer, and they were so great because we were, building it together, and we're like, we have all of these great tools, and we want to do this demo for you, and like we have all these tools, and they're like, Quinn, we work with young people and adolescents under the age of 27. And I was like, oh, right? They were all adult-based things, right? There was parenting stuff, but teens and preteens and young adults can't use any of this. And they're like, this is not at all what we're looking for. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense now. Like, I was really excited. I'm a mom, right? Like, these are kids in my mind. And so we were able to pivot, and actually it turned out really beautifully that we're like, okay, like we'll give you a discount on your environment build. Can we use your members, right? Can we use the people that you serve to tell you and us exactly what they want to see in your platform? And um, it was actually so much more valuable to them. And now we've become a partner that they can go to where they can say, "Hey, Quinn, we're looking for an app or a device or a program or a service that does this. Could you guys go look for that?" And if we couldn't find it in one case, we built it with them,
Yeah.
right? Because now they trust us. We said, yeah, our bad. Right? And we were
Own
able to,
it.
yeah.
Oh, and then yeah, actually you're able to work together. Actually, then becomes their research and investment
Yeah.
as well. So beautiful example. Thank you for being open and
Yeah.
sharing around that. So our time goes pretty quickly in these conversations. So I'm curious for folks who are listening, what are the best ways for folks to learn more, get connected, check out the Care Hub?
Yeah. So our website, www.thecarehub.com. Connect with us on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. Shoot us a message, and we're excited about what the future holds for the digital health space. So we get messages all the time, and we can't wait to find new friends to bring into the Care Hub family.
Hey, Quinn, so encourage folks to check that out. All that information will be in the show notes for you. So go check out the Care Hub. You've shared several key points from your journey, your lessons learned. I think inspire others moving forward. But I'm curious, Quinn, what are you inspired by today?
Something kind of wackadoodle that has inspired me the last month or so has been the Chinese New Year. I learned about 6 weeks ago that 2025 in the Chinese New Year was the year of the wooden snake, a year of toil and shedding and leaving behind what no longer serves us in kind of a painful and difficult sort of way so that we could take our new skin into 2026, which is the year of the fire horse, a year of passion and innovation and building. And there is no way we could really have all that success in 2026 if we didn't take all the learnings from 2025 into this new chapter. So that's what's inspiring me. The hope, um, the agility, um, the passion of 2026.
What a great symbolic way to think about flipping the calendar, moving from that one phase to the next, and yeah, a fire horse, right? That just sounds inspiring, right? So,
Right?
thank you.
Sounds awesome. I'm in.
Me too. So, Quin Kline, the Care Hub, thank you for joining us today, sharing your
Thank you.
story, your journey, and more about the Care Hub.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And to our listeners, we're thrilled to have you join us and check out more about the Care Hub through the show notes. And if you haven't already, again, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you can receive future messages. And of course, hit the like button on this episode. That helps us share the message to even more entrepreneurs like yourself. So with that, thank you and hope you all have a terrific day.